My name is Brandon and welcome to or welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you like what you see in here, you're more than welcome to hit the subscribe button so you stay notified every time I upload a new video. Okay, let's get straight on with today's video. Hey everyone and welcome back to Is That More Brandon. So in today's video I'm going to be doing a review for the 49th episode of Love Island. So we are now in the final week of Love Island, so we literally have about 1 week to go. So let's see what happens at the beginning of this episode. To begin with, the Islanders were all shouting party, 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 especially the girls, because obviously they had won themselves a party from getting a good amount of points in that previous challenge, with Sanam asking the rest of the girls what they were wearing to the party. Will said that obviously Ron had thoughts on game playing and obviously being a head turner, with Ron saying that he thinks those comments are sore. Ron said to Lana that the Shaq comment is still on his mind, and everyone saw his reaction, adding that he doesn't understand how big of a deal it was for him to make Lana his girlfriend, so for them to just say that was part of the game plan, it's obviously not on. Shaq, Tanya, Tom and Sammy all had a quick chat, and Sammy basically said that she hoped Ron and Lana don't take the challenge as seriously as probably they are, with Tanya saying that obviously other people are seeing things like this, and Lana said that the Shaq comment just came out of nowhere. Ron then actually pulled Shaq for a chat, saying that I'm not calling you out on the situation, but I just want to know why you thought what I did was a game plan. And Shaq said that we all know what you have grown, and he's hoping that Ron didn't take the comment personally. Sammy said that they've made such a big deal from the reactions, and Jessie said that every time it shows how Ron has been with every one of the girls, that's probably why people are thinking he's game playing, because he has kind of flirted with multiple different girls and then kind of just gone back to Lana. Lana said to both Ron and Sanam whether she thought there was a little bit of a divide in the villa, and Ron basically said that it felt like Will, Tom and Casey were three musketeers along with obviously their girls. Tom said he's obviously never seen Lana and Ron cuddling, with Sammy adding that there seemed to be no chemistry, and that obviously some of the things that Ron had been voted high for were obviously the head turning and obviously playing a game. Ron basically said that obviously couples that have the most drama are the ones that are usually the game players. Some people obviously enjoy a holiday and then others enjoy cruising through. Sammy said that all that matters is that Ron was happy, and I think what happened in this situation is Ron basically said you see certain couples and you can presume certain outcomes. So for example, those that have like an easy journey to start with usually have problems later down the line. Those who maybe get their problems out of the way at the beginning can then just sail through to the end. Or those kind of complicated characters will either be matched with someone that's friendly, matched with someone that they know is popular, or they just won't find someone and then obviously will get dumped from the villa. So he was kind of analysing it from a viewer's perspective, and I think some of them just kind of realised, well actually you're saying all these different types of game plans, so maybe you're actually fitting into one of these types of game plans. And Rosie said to Casey, is it actually a bit more one-sided from her side? With her basically saying that she has to sometimes come and talk to Casey rather than Casey actually pulling her, and he feels like he does say some little things throughout the day, adding that he really does like her. And then Tom, Sammy and Jessie had a quick chat, with Sammy saying that the challenge doesn't really mean anything. Then she said what Ron had told them, saying there was two different types of game plans as from a viewer's perspective, with him not saying that he was having a game plan, but kind of hinting he had a game plan by saying the types of game plans that there are available, so that he'd revealed what he actually did. Ron had a quick chat with Lana and Rosie said that she knows Casey is a slow burner, and Ron basically said that instead of just staring at Rosie, Casey should actually pull her for a chat, adding that there's definitely no one else in here for him, and he basically said to Rosie, you should maybe keep a little bit of space between you and Casey and just see where it goes, see if he actually gives you attention and actually comes to have a chat with you. And Will said that he's happily taking worse dressed because that means that he's different, so he's not going to change himself for anyone. And then we actually, before bed, saw Will trying on some of Shaq's jeans, with Shaq saying, oh, well, you won't look good in my jeans, or you don't look good in my jeans, and then him coming out of the bed with these ripped jeans. Everyone was kind of laughing at him or with him, but it was quite funny because he kind of actually suited the jeans as well, with Ron saying to Lana that she makes him laugh. In the morning, Jessie said that she had a good sleep, Sanam said that she heard lots of giggles, and Casey said to Shaq that obviously you wouldn't expect anything less of the horniest couple. And then with Ron and Lana, that they were both changing places throughout the night, with Shaq saying that, yeah, it's a good way to obviously test if you've got sexual chemistry. So I think they were all kind of joking and making little digs at each other based on from what the challenge had said. Tom, Shaq and Casey had a quick chat, with Ron explaining Obviously the winners will usually get their drama out of the way at the beginning and then cruise through, with Sami basically saying, did Ron actually then reveal his game plan? Casey said that some of the things that he was voted the highest for were worst dressed, argumentative and game playing. The drama is fresh in people's minds, and obviously Rosie wanted to talk to him about their one-sided relationship. So yeah, maybe the drama that he'd had with Claudia is still fresh in people's minds, so maybe that is why he's seen as argumentative or game playing, because of how not great he dealt with that situation. Rosie said to Sanam and Jessie that Ron had told her that Casey usually goes to the girls first before actually going to speak to Rosie. Sanam said that Ron and Lana were loud last night, with Sami saying that they never usually hear Ron and Lana laughing, and Tom said that maybe it was obvious that it didn't feel right, so maybe they're just trying to prove people wrong, that there genuinely is something there. So yeah, whether it was real laughing or fake laughing, we don't really know what happened. Sami said to Tom that Ron had told her that Casey obviously prioritises the boys over Rosie and then the girls over Rosie as well. Rosie then joined the conversation and Tom said that there was nothing for her to worry about. Sami said she doesn't really understand how that opinion from Ron actually comes into the situation, and Casey then joined the conversation, and Rosie had told Casey that Ron told her that Casey prioritises the boys over Rosie and that he spends more time with the boys, getting to know the boys, and doesn't really want to put that effort into Rosie. Sanam said, why is he trying to put that into her head? And Casey said that he needs to pull Ron for a chat to kind of clear the air on that situation, saying that he's massively stirring the pot. And Ron said it's a Rosie and Casey issue and it's not really anything to do with him. We then saw Ron, Lana, Kai and Sanam have a quick chat, and Ron basically said that Rosie wants a little bit more from Casey and it's nothing to do with him. He's just kind of having his 2 pence of feedback. And Kai said he didn't really chat to Claudia either, so he's kind of doing the same thing again by pairing up with someone or coupling up with someone, not really giving them attention, and then they're kind of getting bored or moving on elsewhere. And Will said that there was definitely a divide within the villa as well. Lana said that she'd be happy to have it out with people because obviously she's now not very happy. And Ron just said to Casey he's very confused about the situation, he just wants kind of a little bit of an update. Shaq had a quick chat with Tom and Will and said that Ron's probably going to make a speech to get out of that situation, and Ron basically said that the question of being one-sided seemed to be in Rosie's head, so he just wanted to have a quick chat with her. And while he was having that chat with Casey, I think they just saw Rosie and Lana walking past and they ended up having a chat as a 4, so obviously all 4 of them were involved, so it just made sense for the 4 of them to be involved. And Lana basically said there was nothing to clear up. Ron didn't say anything bad, he was just giving Rosie advice. And then I think this is when Rosie was kind of stirring the pot by basically saying Ron said to her it wasn't going to work out on the outside if they didn't chat as just the 2 of them, with Ron basically saying that she was just trying to manipulate the conversation that he'd had with Rosie, and Rosie felt like people were trying to put things into her head. And Casey then said to Rosie he doesn't spend more time with the boys, he actually spends more time with her. And Kai quickly ran over to Shaq and Will, saying that obviously Rosie seemed to be lying about the situation. So I think what happened here, Ron thinks that Casey spends more time getting to know the boys than the girls. Ron mentioned to Rosie that maybe it's not going to work between her and Casey, or maybe Casey needs to put a little bit more attention for her or show her a bit more affection. Rosie has then gone to Casey, said something that Ron said that Ron didn't actually say, causing this little weird bit of drama. Rosie was obviously in that conversation with Ron and Lana by herself, so she's kind of having to back herself or not be believed by anyone. And then Lana's kind of on Ron's side saying, well, hang on, Rosie, that's literally not what Ron had said. I think he was just giving his advice, saying she should step back a little bit, see if he puts effort in, and also, yeah, see if he gives you a little bit more affection. So it's a bit of a weird conversation, but I think she was kind of putting things in her own head by making up things that just weren't true. And then I think this is when Casey said that there seemed to be a little bit of a miscommunication between the 4 of them. And Rosie said that she's not making this stuff up. She definitely heard Ron saying something along the lines of she should focus on herself and kind of distance herself a little bit. And she said there was obviously 2 of them in the conversation, so of course they're going to end up saying the same thing, and obviously nobody can back her up. So I kind of get her point, but at the same time I kind of don't feel sorry for her, because 1, she's new, 2, she's kind of stolen Casey, which is why Claudia's not here anymore, and 3, yeah, she's kind of twisting words or not fully saying what Ron and Lana had actually said. She's just kind of adding little extra details. And Casey said he'd rather just focus on the 2 of them now, with Lana saying to Rosie everything has been taken out of context, and Rosie basically said to her there wasn't any big statements, but it was just how certain things were said. And Casey basically said that obviously Lana had reassured Rosie, but now he doesn't trust Ron on the situation, with Tom saying that Lana wouldn't lie, And Shaq said, yeah, she's obviously going to take Ron's side. Lana basically says she's not going to back down on how she feels about the situation. So although she's not directly involved in this situation or this drama, she is still not going to let someone talk badly of or to her or Ron. Sammy said to Lana that obviously there was a difficult situation that Sammy needed to have with her, and she'd rather get this chat out of the way now. So Sammy said that she had a chat with Tom, Sanam and Kai at the fire pit, and had explained to Lana that Ron had said something about the different Love Island gameplay opportunities, and obviously as a viewer you see certain couples doing certain things, adding that he felt like that was what him and Lana were doing by just kind of sailing through. And Lana again basically said that what he said has just been blown out of proportion. Sammy said that she obviously wanted to tell Lana because obviously she likes Lana and she just wants to get things right, or just make sure that things are not, that people are not lying to her. And Lana basically said that obviously he's going to be quite upset about the situation because maybe he was just speaking theoretically rather than in actuality. And Lana said that obviously by Ron making a comment at the fire pit, Sammy said it would look bad because obviously it was after the gameplay comment. Ron said he wanted to speak to Rosie, adding that she's a lovely girl, and did a cheers to amazing couples, amazing people, amazing friendships, and obviously amazing memories. Ron had a quick chat with Shaq and Tom, with Ron saying that he didn't pull Rosie for a chat, and Tom said that none of those three would obviously lie about the situation. Shaq said that with Ron and Lana, Rosie saying something else is obviously a little bit complicated. That's going to kind of confuse Casey as to who he should and shouldn't believe. And Tom said that he knows if someone would be lying, and if he caught someone lying, he wouldn't have that situation. He'd want to make sure that they are kind of exposed. Lana said to Sammy that everyone seems to be talking about Ron, even after the speech, and obviously she feels sorry for him, and it's like everyone is just targeting him. With Sammy saying that, yeah, I didn't realise it was going to come across like that, but from what Ron said, it does sound strategic. And Lana said that nobody else had mentioned it to her, and he's not going to read very well into that situation when obviously she tells him. Lana then actually said to Ron, can I speak to you? And this is when she kind of said what other people had said. Tom said to Shaq that if he knew someone was lying, surely they would let Casey know about the situation. And Shaq said to Tom that Rosie's not going to pull this information out of thin air, but obviously then Lana wouldn't lie. So it's then kind of, who do you believe? Do you believe Rosie or do you believe Lana? Ron and Lana had a quick chat, with Lana basically saying that everyone seemed to be talking about him, and that what he said at the fire pit sounded like a bit of a game plan. And she's not happy that nobody has actually said anything to either of the two of them. And Ron said that they should speak to Kai and Sanam because the two of them were actually there as well. Kai said that all of this stemmed from just a game yesterday, saying that Ron and Lana are the strongest couple in the villa, so they shouldn't really have to worry about anything. And Ron basically said that it felt like everyone was talking behind his back about him, questioning who actually started this. And the only other people that were there during that conversation were Tom and Sammy. He then actually directly said to Lana that, I know you don't want me to flip, but I will. And Lana said, I'm fuming as well, and I'm absolutely happy for you to get angry because, yeah, it's kind of a situation you don't want to be called a liar or a game player or whatever. So, yeah, speak up for yourself and get that situation squashed. So yeah, that was pretty much it for Sunday's episode. So if you did enjoy my reaction, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And until my next review, thank you for watching and goodbye.